Alright folks, I'm making this video to show you how you can make your Eepever tracer or similar chargers safer, following the video that emerged of one spontaneously combusting. Obviously this is a concern, so I'm going to show you what you can do to help mitigate the problems. Step one, of course, is disconnect everything, and I'll come back to this in a minute. Right, so now I've got the unit off, I'm inspecting it, no sign of damage there, just dust on the top. So next step is to get it open. Right, so the main point of failure on these is these wires and these ones. As you can see, they're really thick cable. They do a lot of current and voltage exchange. And what is happening is when the weather is getting to 50 Celsius, I mean, this cable actually has got a, yeah, it's okay for room temperature, but once it's getting above 50 Celsius, you know, in summertime with the sun beating down on the van, and these things are often tucked away in unventilated places. I mean, yes, they've got a heat sink, but it doesn't help these wires. So what we're going to do is we're going to epoxy these away from anything on the circuit board at all. My plan is to simply use pegs and epoxy, so I'll be cutting them down. You have to be careful where you place any sort of support. I mean, this area here, for example, actually dissipates a fair amount of heat. I'm not sure what that switch is doing. I don't have the schematics to hand, but yeah, so that's the plan. I'll come back to it in a minute. Right guys, so after some serious consideration, I've decided to simply epoxy a piece of closed peg there to hold it away from the heatsink. In doing so, lifts both of the wires through the board, so they're away from the capacitors, they're away from the tracks. On this side, I've been able to rework the wire. Rework the wire, so yet again, it's away from the PCB, plenty of air gap all the way around, and it's quite a stiff wire, so it's not going anywhere. But so that's how you can make your Eepever or Eepever clone or whatever they are. Those of you who've got one of these will recognise it. But yeah, as the guy's video said, if they're not, perhaps I've got one of the newer ones, but I know that the earlier versions of these circuits, the wire was glued down or elastic down to the PCB all the way along there. Also, just be aware that when you do take these off, you've likely got a 40-volt panel, so don't go and doing it and touching it with wet hands. And same applies for any exposed copper traces on the board. Don't touch things, because those caps will have some charge in them. Well, I hope this helps to alleviate anybody's anxiety about who's also an owner of one of these solar charge controllers. But as long as you can do something, as I said, to keep these wires up and away from the board, everything should be good. But I'll be keeping a close eye on it. And yes, I'm definitely going to be upgrading and changing this one out as soon as my budget allows. So in the meantime, I'm going to be getting a smoke alarm and fitting right above it. Hope this helps. Please, if I'm wrong about anything, correct me in the comments. Thanks now, guys. Bye.